This time on Slickworks, yes, the Daytona is still here. There is some dust nibs and stuff in the paint job, so we're gonna just do a quick little denib, wet sand, and polish on it. Yes, this beautiful car is still here, and it does have a new owner. So new owner Dean, I tried to set it up for another shop to do a little wet sand and polish on it, but it could not be arranged. He wanted to keep it here, so just minor little corrections. I'm not doing like a complete block out the whole car like I did with Jeannie, so it's not gonna look absolutely perfect. And by perfect, I mean like this. But there's a few spots, problem areas that we are definitely going to correct, which is going to make this car look even nicer, So before getting going on this beauty here, I've cleaned the whole shop. We want a clean workspace. We want any sand or grit or dust or anything blown completely out of the area, because you never know when a little piece of something could wind up on your sandpaper or your polishing pad that could turn this into a really bad day. So I'm gonna wrap this. This is my table I'm gonna be working from. Gonna wrap it up with a fresh sheet of paper, get everything lined up here, clean, perfect, ready to go. All right, well, step one, we're just gonna go around the car, and any little spots that we find that need a little bit of attention, I'm just gonna mark it with a piece of tape. So these are just spots that need a dry sand. Yes, I always start with a dry sand. I know I'm a little weird. See that little fisheye there? Just the stuff that's really bad. Really bad. A little bit of orange peel and stuff. We're not going full Shoker on this, so I gotta reel myself back on it, but it's gotta look nice. Nothing that leaves the shop does not look very nice. So I'll be starting 800 dry on this one. On my Monte Carlo, if you think 800 dry is aggressive, I started with 600 dry. And then 600 wet, 800 wet, 1200 wet, 1500 wet, 3000 wet, 3-stage polish, 2 coats of wax. That's how I roll. For this job, 800 wet, and then moving on to the finer grades. To start on these nibs, I'm using a hard block. Hard block because we want it to try and cut the top of the dust nib without taking too much of what's around it. So we're just gonna go a little bit further than this, and then that's gonna be it for the stage. See that little shiny bit around the dust nib? That means it's still not flat yet. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it down a little bit further, not too far. I think we're gonna stop right about there. Okay, all the major dust nibs are sanded out, hand sanded with 1500. Why hand sand? Because it's quick and I don't make a watery mess all over the whole nose, so I can see exactly the spot that I'm working at. Also, I noticed this is kind of interesting. See this? Fiberglass texture. This is through polyester filler. This is through medium body filler, polyester filler, sealer, or 2 coats of primer, sealer, 2 coats of paint, and 6 coats of clear is on the red, and I believe 3 coats on the white. So 6, all those layers, and the fiberglass underneath all this is still shrinking and curing. That's fiberglass cars for you guys. So yeah, all the major dust nibs are gone. Areas that are perfectly smooth like this, that will be dead flat and shiny. And there's still a little bit of an eclipse around that. dust nib. That's all right. We're just minimizing. We're also gonna make this, all the orange peel out here in this area. Now's the part where I get out my machine and we start machine sanding it with a DA with a very soft pad and 1500 grit Trizec. So let's do that. Okay, so now we're at the point on this fender, I guess you would say, where the paint is showing us what it needs. So you see all these little shiny bits? Where it is perfectly flat and smooth, it is perfectly flat and smooth. But where all these little shiny bits are, that's where the sandpaper won't touch, so that is orange peel. Now, we could do the whole show car polish thing where it's just perfect flat as glass, but the big problem with that is if you go a micron too thin, when you're polishing, you could burn through. And then on this beautiful red car, we could have a nice bright patch of gray primer, which would mean I would have to disassemble the nose and repaint it, put it back on, and re-wet, sand, and polish. And the new owner of this car wants his car. So I'm gonna stop right there. We're not gonna run the risk of that happening. So this is 1500. Once we get this in 3000, you'll really start to see the shine come back. And yeah, so 3000 for this. Okay, see a bit of the shine coming back. You could really see the shine if you duck way down like this. Smooth as glass, right? So that's done for now. So we're gonna finish the whole nose. I'm gonna machine sand this whole side out in 1500, this side in 1500, as well as the top. 3000 the whole thing, and then we're gonna get to polishing this. Well, I just had the absolute scared out of me. When I was sanding down here, my drips that were coming off my sandpaper had a bit of a red tinge to it. I actually stopped and talked to Jesus for a second. So like, yeah. So that is not actually burning through. So when you're sanding, if you see red and you're polishing, wet sanding a red car, that is a big problem, but I figured out what it is. See this? This redness is from when I was sanding out the car itself. When I was sanding the red gel coat, yeah, just a little of that is still left in the Velcro pad. So we're okay, we're okay. All right, just getting this side finished off in 3000. Uniform orange peel. It looks a lot worse than it actually is when you look at it like this. Just wanted to point out this here. So there's a few spots. See this scratch? See these fine scratches? These are from the 800 grit. If I was to polish this, you can see that. So I need to go back to my 1500 just in this one spot. All the rest looks pretty good. So sand it out with a machine, 1500, 3000. Then we'll have another look at that. And 3000. No scratches, ready for polish. Now, usually I would go with the #1 waffle pad with my #1 polish and wind it right up. Like I'm talking, get this thing up to speed 3, 4, I don't know, fast, totally fast. But as this car is fiberglass, I don't want to heat it up too much, because if you've been following the series on this car, there was a lot of like pinholes, I would call them caverns amidst the fiberglass nose as well as the gel coat of this thing. So instead of a waffle pad, we're going with a wool pad, and I'm gonna go much slower so I don't heat it up too much. All right, I've got this one section done in #1 polish, and that is what we're going for. You see all that haziness there? Totally normal. all that is gonna go away in polish number 2 and 3. Yeah, but I stepped my number 1 polish up to this area and we got scratches. Yeah, we'll get it to focus on this cloth. There. See these scratches? Yep, those won't do. So, pick up the 3000 grit, give it a quick little buzz, and before you know it, it'll look like this. As you can see, there's no more deep scratches. A few marks from wiping it with the cloth, but that's it. There's no more deep scratches, there's no more pigtails, curly cues. So what happened is, I sanded it, and then there's some really deep 800 grit scratches. So I hit it with 1500, 3000 grit, and then I had little curly cues all over it. So I had to go back to 1500, sand it down, 3000, polish it again. Whew, that was very, very stressful. That paint must be microns thin at this point, but now I know there's enough paint to go a little bit deep on it. So yeah, I'm going way too overboard on this nose. I'm at like 6 hours into it now. I have like 10 hours credit towards this job. I'm going too far. I need to dial myself back big time. And the front end is finished in number 1 wool pad as well as number 1 waffle pad. It is looking pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. Yep, not quite perfect yet. So some areas like in here where I can't reach with my DA, we're just gonna go ahead and leave that because I have a $1,000 budget on this that's left in the budget for when I built the car that's carried over to the new owner. So I've been working on it for about 11 hours now, which is as much of the budget as we can do. And I would say I'm about half done because the amount of surface area on the nose is probably equal to the amount for the entire rest of the car. And I've gone a little bit too crazy. I've made it a little bit too nice. I did not need to make it this nice. It's supposed to just be a little dust, denib, and a polish, but hey, this guy's getting a beautiful machine. So now we're moving on to number 2 waffle pad, number 2 polish, and then we'll finish off with number 3 to get the final swirl marks off, as well as 2 coats of wax. I always finish off my polishes with 2 coats of wax. This thing with number 3 polish, and instead of like number 1 and number 2 where we got the machine just chewing into it, now we're going as slow as it can go on its slowest setting with no weight, just the weight of the machine, and we're moving slowly, as slow as we can. And what this is going to do is just get rid of swirl marks. That's all number 3 does, is just get rid of swirl marks. Okay, dust nibs sanded out, working on the quarter panel. The nibs are sanded out on the door, that's finished in 3000. As well as these nibs here, and this is finished in 3000. See how slick and smooth that is? Minus the little bumpies. So the little bumpies are, again, these shiny bits that you see. So we could take the time and get all that out, but we're not going to. And also, I know there's probably going to be more than one person saying the same thing in the comment section, so I'm going to go ahead and have that conversation right now in this video. So why don't you just go ahead and finish the whole car like that? Well, I would if I had like a bit more time. Yeah, but I mean, while it's here, you might as well just do the whole car like that. I mean, yeah, but that would take like days of work. And I mean, time is kind of more valuable than money right now. Time is more valuable. So you don't want to make money on this thing? Like, yeah, I want to make money, but I have a race car to build. My whole Florida trip. Oh, yeah, the Freedom Factory thing. Yeah, the Freedom Factory thing. It's kind of a big deal. It could change my whole life. Well, that makes sense. I'll see myself out. See ya. right, just looking over the polish job now. Looks like we have no deep scratches, no pigtails. That's just from wiping it. Yeah, I think we're totally in good shape. Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna get my waffle pad. Waffle pad now was number 1 polish, and then when we're done number 1, then we'll move on to number 2. Well, I had 10 hours that I could use on this car, and I've used 22, but that's okay. It looks beautiful. I would want it to look this good if it was my car. It is 1:30, 1:35 in the morning. I'm going to bed tomorrow. This beast is getting picked up. It has been in my life for 2 years. Tomorrow, she gone. Wow. So much room for activities. Well, the last episode that I put out on the Daytona I thought was the final one, and that episode had a record number of views. It's, to this day, the best video I've ever done. I also saw with the analytics that 53.8% of people watch Slickworks on a TV as opposed to a phone or a tablet. So it might take a little bit of figuring, but if you could take a second to figure out how to subscribe, that would be awesome. I would appreciate that. All of us here at Slickworks would. Appreciate that. All of us here at Slickworks would. Okay, back to work on my race car. Thanks for watching. Bye.